let it put you down if you're struggling, but everyone fails. Like, you just got to keep trying. So Zephra Atkins, I work for Active Communities Network, which is a sport for development charity. So I am the project and activity lead, which means I run the weekly programme. So I work in the heart of Portsmouth and just run weekly sessions in 2 wards, in the most deprived wards in the city. Oh, 100% the young people. So I started off when I left college. I started volunteering, and so I was 18. I was working with young people the same age as me, and it's brilliant. So I started off volunteering, then got put onto part-time, and then got a full-time contract last March. And throughout that whole 3-year period, the best thing about it is the young people. They're just amazing. So it's so unpredictable. I can go into the same session every week with the same group of young people, and every week I'll come out with a completely different session that I've just had. It's amazing. So our programme is primarily sport-based, but we've got young people coming in with completely different levels of ability, and different learning needs, and it's so funny. I think even I'm still so young, so I'm 21, but I've been out of the school system for since obviously for 4 or 5 years, and just coming out of that and then just hearing stories from school and what these young people are up to, it's brilliant. It's proper. And some of them, obviously, we're working in quite deprived areas, so some stories are quite nitty gritty, but it's so eye-opening. But I didn't have an immensely sheltered upbringing, but even from contrast from what I grew up with, these stories, some real hard-hitting stuff, is so amazing to see these young people still smiling and still coming to our sessions and being involved and being happy. I think it's so hard. I would say that I don't have a good balance of social media myself. I think you pick up your phone and 2 hours have passed and you've just been looking at fail videos. And it's just, you can't, I would say that I don't have a good balance of it. And I think especially, as like you say, having it from such a young age, it then becomes your norm to go home and you just sit on Instagram or TikTok, and the TikTok is what blows my mind as well, the dancing of it. I was like, some young people try and teach me the dances, and I've got 2 left feet, so it's embarrassing. But I think there are healthy ways, like we've said, about having that connection to people. So if you get home and you, I work with some young people who are young carers, and so they can't go out after school because they're looking after their family member. So having that social media, that is a positive way, because you can still stay in contact with your friends. Yeah, you've got a little bit of I wish I was there, but you've still got a bit of a play. I mean, you can watch it all on Snapchat. It's not quite the same, but you still do feel connected to your peers. So I think there can be healthy ways and there can be positive ways to use it. But I think the balance is so hard to get. And I think as well, this obviously, when you're at school, when I was at school, it was phones away. If you've got your phone, it's being taken off you, sort of thing. And it's that, and I don't know if that's still actually the case at school, but they can be useful. When we run workshops with young people, we're realistic. We know that if you can't keep your phone away from you, if it is going to be on the table, just flip it over, and we will then incorporate tasks that use Googling on your phone. So they still feel so there are potentially healthy ways to use it, but moderating it, I feel like I wouldn't even know how to start with it. I think what I've found with this lockdown and with the pandemic is we need to be nicer to each other. So I think there's been some serious community response. So just there was a cat stuck up at a tree at the weekend, and there were people sanitizing and passing over stuff over the walls to try and get this cat down, and that real feel of community. And there's some neighbours, I've lived here all my life and I don't actually know all my neighbours. So I think it has brought communities together, but I think it has also highlighted that, you know, can be quite selfish, and we can be quite, you know, what's happening in my world is happening, and I'm not that bothered about the rest. So I think hopefully we can be a bit nicer to each other, and then obviously as well nicer to the planet. I mean, in however many years, if we don't sort it out as a world, it's going to be a pretty bleak place. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be living in a nicer place, nicer to each other and nicer to our planet. I think for me it's super hard because I started volunteering with ACN and realised how much I love and have a passion for youth work and engaging with young people. I actually wanted to work with adults. I wanted to do sort of work within prisons, but I was like at 18, I was like, I have not got the bottle for this right now. So started volunteering with ACN and absolutely loved it. I think I would really like to progress. So, I mean, my long-term goal is to run my own sort of youth charity. I'm not sure what sort of way I don't know if that'll be sport. I don't know how that will look, but I would love to run my own charity. But I'm also so torn because the further up the ladder you go, the less frontline work you do. And that is the thing that brings me the most joy within my job, is working with the young people. So I think for me, it will be constantly finding that balance between working with young people, but then progressing in that field. So I'd like to do it all. It's so hard. I don't know. I'm trying to think what would have helped me out when I left school. I don't know. Find your people. I think that's a big one. I think I was at school and I had quite a bit. I'm wearing a boasty hat at the moment, but I had quite a big friendship group. And I think actually since leaving school, I've realised I'm only probably close with about 3 of them now, but they're people that will be my friends for life, and they are my support system. So I think find your people and don't. I mean, it's so cliche, isn't it? Don't let it put you down if you're struggling. But everyone fails. You just got to keep trying.